bad name. His real name is Draco Malfoy. Yeah, we call him Jane.
The size? No, wait, what did you say?
Sizes. I don't know about.
I think you
thirds or
quantified
whatever.
it.
Okay, I'll quantify you if you aren't careful. Okay.
Hey! How's my hair? It's been a minute. I get a haircut on Friday.
Why?
Look at me. They
Handsome.
call me the shaggy dog, Tim Allen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or the kid from the original movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen the old
I
Shaggy
have
Dog?
actually. I think I've seen that more than the
So
new one.
weird.
Yeah, extra weird.
So weird.
Yeah, my parents didn't love me as a child, and they wouldn't let me watch the new Disney movies, but they would let me watch the old ones. So I never saw the new versions of things.
Mm-hmm.
Only saw the old ones, and now everyone bullies me for it.
But did you see the Shaggy DA?
You haven't seen freaking what's the one where the girl twins are swapping places?
Halloween Town.
Lindsay Lohan is Lindsay Lohan twice.
Oh, Halloween Town. My favorite one is the one where they're at high school and they're like, I want to choose between basketball and music. And it's so hard. I think it's called Halloween
Wendy
Town.
Wu. Homecoming Warrior.
Wendy Wu, Homecoming, My Last Meal on Mythical Kitchen.
Oh God, the crossover event. Hey, speaking of someone who's engaged to a Culkin.
Aren't they married?
Nah, I thought they were engaged.
I think they have kids and are married.
Brenda Song?
Yeah?
No, they're not married. I'm not going to Google it because I want to sit in the wonder of it. Our listeners can Google it.
Okay.
We're not going to put this part in the show, right?
This is the entire show. Welcome everyone back to Cinema Lounge. Ben's back. It's not just me and Michael. I know that you wish it was, but Ben is here. Any response?
No, Your Honor.
Any rebuttal?
Please. Hey, good to be here. Good to be back. It's all weird on the camera.
Yeah, it is strange.
Lights, new room.
It is a new room.
Never recorded in this room with you.
It's a different kind of level of production a little bit compared to where we were before.
Because
like we
you
had the
do
nicer
this
cameras.
Professionally now.
Yeah.
You get paid money.
Yeah.
Not to do Cinema Lounge.
No, that'd be good.
That would be awesome.
Share with all of your friends and family.
Yeah, which is a great sponsor today's great segue to today's sponsor, Squarespace.
I need to make a website.
And you
I'm going to use Squarespace.
That's great, especially for someone who doesn't have a lot of tech know-how like you, huh?
I don't know anything about technology.
Wow, let's read the copy. Nah, we don't have copy.
IMDb
We don't get paid for
synopsis.
this. We don't get paid
That's
for
not
this.
for that. Ben,
Lorem ipsum.
I welcome you to Cinema Lounge, the
Thank
official
you.
podcast of the Cinema Lounge YouTube channel, not the Great Scub-Doo, because I renamed it. Now it's Cinema Lounge.
Hell yeah.
All our episodes are there. You
Hell
could be
yeah.
watching this there right now. It's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Oh, you got an old DVD on your shelf, and you're like, I wonder if the Cinema Lounge has ever done this one before. YouTube. Go.
Find out.
Control F. Search that page.
Where's my DVDs?
Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, you've got The Mummy on VHS?
I do.
Go look at the YouTube channel. Did the Cinema Lounge do a Mummy episode?
We haven't, and I haven't
Nope.
seen any of those movies.
We should do that.
We should, but I want to torture Jeffrey a little longer. Jeffrey's convinced that I really need to see the Mummy movies, and especially since I have that VHS. And I told him that I would watch The Mummy. And when I said The Mummy, I did mean the Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
I want him to experience pain.
That's problematic.
It's good.
Yeah, wow. So let's watch this on VHS sometime.
I'm down.
Smells good. Smells like VHS tape.
I mean, I bet it would play. I have the
Look at
VHS
this.
player.
Look
Does that
at
say
this.
Hollywood Video on it?
Physical
Look on the side.
Universal.
No, on the side. Is that
does
stolen from Hollywood
It does say
Video?
Hollywood Video. Visit us online, www.hollywoodvideo.com. You know who uses Squarespace? Hollywood Video.
That's hilarious. I
Yep.
got that on a garage sale, I think. I can't remember where I
Sick.
got that.
You
actually.
have stolen material
Contraband. The
Yep.
Mummy Contraband.
in the lounge.
Welcome to Contraband Lounge, where we talk about movies that we think are great and why we think they're great.
And why you should pirate them.
It's been a long time. Oh boy. controversial statements.
Yeah,
It's been a
well-
long time since we did this, but we're back and we're going to talk about Oscars. We didn't have time to F the Oscars, so we're going to Oscars 2025 recap this week.
Be great.
And that's the plan.
I like this. There's more sticking power. The people might listen to it back later on. If we did one beforehand, they'd all be like, it's over. But now,
I don't
they
know
want to
what's
hear our
going on.
opinion about the Oscars.
Yeah.
Mostly Marshall's,
Did
maybe?
you watch the Oscars?
I did watch the Oscars. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yep. If I'm being honest, my big motivator at every commercial break was I really want to see what Conan does next.
Yes.
Which was good, which was fine. The rest of it was, well, we'll talk.
It was
about
fine.
We'll stop. I'll stop.
Yeah. So I
stop.
do have some tight news before we get into everything.
Wait,
But want to
news.
just again welcome everyone back to the show. We're excited to be doing the show. Going to try to release it every other week, like we said that we were going to a year ago. But we're going to try not to take a year-long break again this time. And in fact, next week or next episode, we're going to plan to talk about the conversation since Gene Hackman just died. Arguably one of his best movies. Apparently, I haven't seen it, but I'm really excited to watch it.
Me either.
So yeah, let's talk about some news. I've got 3 newses. I didn't try very hard.
Is it about Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman died. There is some. We
Spoilers
could talk about it a
at
little
the
bit.
end. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
It's getting
at
a little
first it was
weirder.
like, but less weird, I think. At first it was like they're both dead at the same time, and their dog is dead. Sounds like carbon monoxide. Wasn't carbon monoxide.
Yeah. But then the
they were
news
like,
is that
"What happened?"
his wife had been dead for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and that he apparently had just been walking around the house like with her there.
His Alzheimer's potentially was so
I
deteriorated,
guess.
is what they said. That's the running thing. Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah. Didn't feed the dog, maybe. Left it crated up.
Yeah, I don't know.
He passed away maybe from not taking his medication. Is that what it sounded like?
I don't know.
Hard-
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborne. First, we attack his heart.
attack.
It's just sad.
Heart
The heart, Osborne.
failure, and then both discovered a week after, maybe.
Yeah.
After his death.
And they have kids, right? Like, are these people not checking in on them in any way? Like, they're not calling them for 2 weeks?
I don't want to judge another family's situation, but
I guess. but
maybe.
Jeez.
I don't know. When was the last time you called your parents?
Yesterday.
Damn.
I was like, can you come downstairs? I need help with something.
Did you yell, or was it like a phone call?
I called out. I
Yeah.
was like, yup!
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Anywho.
Unfortunate news,
Well,
but we're going to
that's-
talk about Gene Hackman.
And honor his legacy more than just. Let's not. Okay, I see you out there in the world. I see you tuning into the Gene Hackman episode just because the story's kind of crazy. We're here to honor his legacy.
Yeah, talk about
To talk about
cool
his,
Gene Hackman
his art,
things. Superman.
the art of Gene Hackman.
The art
Which
of Gene
apparently
Hackman.
in his later years he was into painting.
I wanna see
Since
about that.
retirement. Yeah.
I want to know that.
Yeah.
Another-
Well, tune into the next episode, folks.
Folks.
It's an inclusive phrase, but we can use to encompass many of the viewers.
Is it
that
a
listen live.
FOLX?
F-O. Oh, I like the X.
Yes.
Extra inclusive.
Very
Latino,
progressive.
Latina, Latinx situation.
Yeah, people hate that.
Folks. Well, okay.
Hispanic people.
Okay, well. Okay.
Well, who cares what they have to say about
Yeah.
what we're calling them?
Yeah, it makes me feel better. So
Okay.
anyway.
Do you want to hear about some other tight news?
Yeah.
Here's a more less disturbing, more fun news. A movie theater ceiling, well, kind of upsetting actually. A movie theater ceiling.
Jesus.
I said that, and then I was like, but now I'm
God.
reading it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
A movie theater ceiling collapsed in Washington during a screening of Captain America: Brave New World.
That's
Like, fell in.
that is in Disney we'd call that 4D.
Yeah. Here's the good news.
Watch
there were
out.
only 2 people.
This is unreal.
What a
Really?
beautiful, like, man, thank God that movie sucks.
Yeah.
Because so many people could have gotten hurt
That's
if
crazy.
it was a good movie.
Luckily, holy smokes.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were startled
Oh,
Were they
man.
injured? I guess I
don't
didn't even
think
ask. I
so.
just assumed that.
I didn't see that anybody got hurt. or
Can you
anything.
imagine if there were only 2 people in there and they both died?
There's like one piece of ceiling comes down and it hits just them in those 2 middle seats that they would choose.
Dear, right.
And then everything else, it's like the reverse Buster Keaton.
Yeah. Wow.
Like the building comes
Yeah.
down and the hole goes right where he is, but
Right.
now it's just the hole.
Right.
You're getting killed by just the ceiling hole.
Just the hole. And the, which is why I will forever, if I'm ever alone in a movie theater, move to the
Top left
aisle.
corner.
Yeah. Is that like the makeout spot?
What?
I don't know.
That's crazy,
Never-
man.
What?
I would never do that.
Marshall?
Dude, you're a teacher.
Top left spot?
I would not sit there.
I've never
You
made out
said
in a
that
movie
you would
theater.
sit in the top
I've
left.
never made out in a movie theater, but one time I did sit down and noticed that so I walked in the movie theater, I'm smuggling in ice cream sandwiches,
Classic.
and I'm unloading all my smuggled in paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And I've noticed there's these eyes on me. I look in the seat next to me, and it's one of my students there with some dude. And she's like, "Hey, Mr. Herval." And I sit down, and like the rest of the movie, I'm like cock blocking the whole rest of the movie. And I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, it also didn't stop them. I think they were.
When
they
you
brought-
say some dude, was this another teenager?
yeah, they were clearly
Okay,
dating.
that
or
made it
something.
sound like it
Yeah.
was an
Oh,
adult
so
man.
dude, no.
And I was like, what is
No,
going on?
no. So that's I've never made out in a theater, but I have ruined. I'm assuming
You've
some-
been in proximity to people making out of you.
Yeah, I didn't really look over much after the movie started, so
Yeah. Why not?
I don't. That's a great question.
That's what I would do.
Yikes. So anyway, that's my horror story. Okay, but Captain America though,
What about it? We
Hey.
talked about it last week. It's not good.
great. I haven't seen it, so
You don't need to.
okay, good. Really,
You should listen to
give
that
me,
episode.
Give me a. Could you give me a haiku summary? 575.
Oh, man. I'm not going to do it well.
Here we go.
Captain America. Brave New World.
Uh-huh.
7?
That's 7. Yeah.
Wait, it was
You just did 5.
7?
Now it's 7.
Okay. He never.
Just a lot of dead space here. And he never.
Having a hard time.
Okay, should we stop? Do you need to stop? You're getting
No,
sweaty.
I
You're getting
do.
sweaty.
Captain America, Brave New World.
Yeah. Captain America, Brave New World. That's fine.
Can I take back he never?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Captain America, Brave New World.
Yeah, we'll cut it.
He.
E. Oh, no.
Captain America,
Brave New World.
Captain America, Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
The president is angry.
3 more.
Dude. Wait, 3 more? Captain America, Brave New World. The president is bright red and angry.
Good. Okay. 5 more.
The leader needs a bigger. Oh no, that's it.
The leader needs a bigger.
Wait, leader needs bigger forehead.
No, for head is 1 word. Forehead. I guess
Ow.
it's syllables.
Forehead.
Forehead. Good.
Not a good payoff.
If you could maybe put some Japanese-y kind of music on that
Yes.
and cut all of the struggle, and it's going to sound really cool.
I think only the struggle is the part of that was good.
I don't know about that. Anyway, thanks.
The movie's not good. It's really unfortunate. It made
All
me
right.
sad.
All right.
My main thing that I came out of the movie, this is my summary. If he can wear a hat, the forehead isn't big enough. And do with that information what you will. That's how I feel about the movie.
Great. As
Okay.
someone who really knows nothing about it, that was super helpful.
That's good. Apple is refusing to release physical media for their films. They don't want to do it.
Okay.
Criterion has reached out to them multiple times for Killers of the Flower Moon, and they've fully, turned them down.
Wow. That seems silly.
Yeah, it seems really silly. I don't understand what the
They want
idea
to
could be there.
Control,
Everything
Everything?
about it, I
Hmm.
guess.
maybe?
It's just so dumb. Like, Killers of the Flower Moon should be a Criterion movie. In every way, it seems like it should be a Criterion movie. And you don't think about the way that stuff happens, I guess, because I don't know why. In my mind, I'm just like, yeah, it's just a special edition.
Right.
Like, does that mean that this person gets profits and that person doesn't get profits, or like what's going on there?
Right.
I don't know. But Apple doesn't want to do smart things.
Yeah, now I'm curious more of the business side of things with converting into physical media.
Yeah.
What are the downsides for Apple?
I guess, I mean, there's not a lot of money in it necessarily, but what's the harm then if Criterion is taking on that like workload, presumably, and paying for the production of it? Like, they're not having Apple pay for making all these discs.
Right.
I think
I'm uneducated in this topic, but it feels to me like I get it on the list of reasons I would sign up for Apple TV.
Yeah, because then you have to.
This is ammunition. This is here's a reason to sign up. This is the only place you can watch this thing.
And they keep trying to do that by making all these shows that no one knows exist with the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah.
And continually no one watches them. Like, people sign on for Severance and they signed up for Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso's over, now it's just Severance.
Which I think Severance did break the Ted Lasso like streaming numbers
Probably.
for Apple TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is curious. I heard Shrinking's quite good.
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I think there's a second season now. I have not watched it.
Okay.
I just was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
I don't love it. People are saying Harrison Ford is just hilarious. I'm like, he's kind of funny, I guess. Like, I feel like everything I'm seeing him in these days, he's kind of just like, I'm getting paid for this.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hearing, like, he's literally saying that half the time in interviews of like, well, they paid me a lot of money to do this Hulk thing, and that's why I don't get worried about the fact that I'm jumping around in this goofy jumpsuit or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, that's fine. But like, I don't see any passion behind it. I don't know. Maybe he likes it. I'm skeptical of it. I just think that there should be physical media. And it makes me sad that it's slowly dying.
Hot take from movie guy Marshall.
He's super hot take. No one else agrees. The Broccoli family.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I meant hell yeah, like this is big news. Not hell yeah, like this is a good thing, it's a bad thing. Anyway,
Do you know about this?
Yeah, continue.
The Broccoli family has given control of the Bond franchise.
Broccoli?
Broccoli family has given control of the Bond franchise to Amazon. Speaking of big streamers with no souls, apparently Amazon wanted to make a series about various Bond side characters like Moneypenny or Felix Leiter, and the Broccolis, Barbara Broccoli especially, and I'm quoting, said, called the Amazon execs fucking idiots. Jeff Bezos heard this and said, I don't care what it costs, get rid of her.
Yeah.
You know, which is something a Bond villain would say.
It does feel kind of villainy.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Watch out.
And crazy.
Watch out.
And now they've given it to them.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And it
yeah, what is the benefit from the family side of things? You know, because for years and years, they're the ire of fans in some ways because they're they have too much control over it.
Yeah,
is the argument for years and years. But now it's getting sold to Amazon, and all of the press is, oh god, this is going to go downhill.
This?
Yeah,
right. I don't know. I feel like it's a weird thing where this is a property that's not owned by a studio, or it wasn't, and that is so unique. Like everything is owned by the studios. Star Wars and everything, that's all Disney, all this different stuff. The Broccolis are like a family,
right?
That, you know, a very wealthy family. It's not like it's just, you know, some Italian family down the street or something.
Yeah, when you get honored at the Oscars,
it's a different kind of thing.
You're a wealthy family.
Which is like so out of place.
It's pretty crazy.
Like, for what purpose was that happening? It's just very interesting that they own this franchise at all.
Right.
But now they're giving it up. I saw someone point out that Bond is going to be in the public domain in like 10 years anyway. So maybe they're just like, we've done what feels like a definitive version of the character at this point.
There we go.
Like doing another version of it now. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but I just don't know that this is a world where people care about a new James Bond the way that they used to when it was changing so much. Like Daniel Craig was the character for a long time.
Right.
I don't know if you line it up like probably Sean Connery is the only person who comes close to the amount of time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the amount of movies, but the amount of time that he was Bond. So it's just like this is not a generation that has really grown up ever with any other James Bond. Where in the past you may have had Roger Moore and Sean Connery, or Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan, or Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. But now it's just like, I've never really known another Bond except that I like the movies. So I would have seen these other things.
I have memories of Pierce Brosnan.
You have what?
Memories of Pierce Brosnan.
I thought you said, I have met recently Pierce Brosnan.
No, memories of
Like,
growing
really?
up with that. That was the Bond, but I was still too young to really go to the theater and watch it.
Yeah.
It was more of a, I'm walking behind the couch slowly while Dad is watching this movie.
Yeah, or
that
like
I'm probably not supposed to
Goldeneye,
watch,
I feel
right.
like was the experience of a lot of people our age and slightly older than us for that James Bond, rather than ever even having seen the movies, really.
Right.
So I don't know.
So maybe a getting out here before, it's almost public domain. Let's let someone else
Like, we've
take this
done
up.
it.
Yeah.
Who
The other
cares?
bummer with that too is that it does feel like someone was stewarding Ian Fleming's vision in some way. Yeah. Rather than with the artist no longer being here, with the author no longer being here, someone else is kind of gatekeeping that. And now it's, I don't know. It's at the same time though, my mindset has been, I have to shift to more of a, like you said, more of a Star Wars mindset, more of a Marvel mindset, where now I'm at the point where I don't have to watch everything, and there will be some good stuff that happens, and I will tune in and watch that stuff. I'll tune in and watch Andor. I'll tune in and watch Bad Batch. I'll whatever, and I'll leave the rest.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you should. You'd
Really?
love it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about this later, but I have so little time.
I get it.
But with Bond now, it won't be the same movie experience where everybody, it's not the summer blockbuster anymore where, oh my God, it's a new James Bond movie. We've been waiting years for this. Or a brand new. Is that a sneeze blow? I don't know. It seemed purposeful. It seemed like you thought, I'm going to do this right now.
I need to put all of my strings into this so I don't have to do it one time.
That's good. It's okay.
Your turn.
Okay, buddy. Allergic to a good time over here.
Your turn. Go ahead. Keep going.
So no, it just loses that allure of the summer blockbuster. It's not going to be, we've been waiting a while for this next installment.
Yeah.
Or this reboot. It's going to just be like, I guess this is
James
constantly
Bond
in the
cinematic
background.
universe.
I guess.
I just don't want everything to be a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And Marvel did something amazing and unprecedented with the Infinity Saga. But it's like, not everything needs to be that. In fact, I don't think anything else at all needs to be that. The default mode should be, let's make a really good thing, and then it's over.
Right.
And if it makes sense to make a second one, that's cool. But if it doesn't, don't do it.
Yeah.
And if it makes sense to make a thing about this ancillary character that people thought was kind of fun, then do it. But don't, like, I don't want everything to be like the cinematic world. So I guess another piece of news that I don't have here that we could kind of go into from that is that every indication is pointing towards Kathleen Kennedy actually stepping down at the end of this year.
Oh, wow.
And along
For
with
the listeners
that,
at home who don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is.
leader. I don't know
Almost
what
kind of
her,
like a creative director or like
Yes.
producer. Like
I don't know
produces
exactly
like most
what
of it.
her job title is, but she's in charge of Lucasfilm, and is like the person who kind of signs off on every final thing and stuff like that. And people don't like her and her era, and some of that is dumb internet incels just not liking that a woman is in charge. And a small portion of that are people who actually know what they're talking about and who just don't think she makes good creative decisions, which I would more or less agree with. There's been good stuff, but there's been mostly kind of junk for a while now in Star Wars, which kind of is sad. And the good stuff, for better or worse, has come from Dave Filoni. I'm a little concerned, though, that when she steps down, that almost certainly the people they put in charge are going to be Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
I don't have as much trust in them as I used to because of Mando Season 3, because of the lukewarmness of Ahsoka. Better than it was, worse, but it's really just okay.
Yeah. It's
And-
extra content.
Yeah, like these live action shows have kind of petered out a little bit and been just kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really care that much about a Star Wars cinematic universe and an interconnected series of shows, and it all comes together, and we have Star Wars Thanos, and we have to Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Sabine, the evil girl from Ahsoka, who is probably going to become a good guy or something. Everybody, well, let's work together, and then we can stop the thing. Boba Fett is nice now. We can all work together. Like, just make good stuff. And it doesn't have to connect to other stuff. It just has to be good. And I don't want everything to be connected. It makes it so much harder to make good stuff. Just make the thing good, and then if it makes sense to connect it, connect it. But that should be secondary. And I feel like Marvel has just made everything feel like it has to be that way.
Yeah, right. And there also has to be like a schedule of here's our year schedule.
Our
of
10-year schedule.
Right. Of like, this is when stuff will be coming out. When
Yeah.
we have our whatever.
Phase 5.
Right. Thank you.
Phase 7.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where we it's not because we're waiting on a good idea to pop up. It's we have to be churning out content.
Well, most of the time they're like, we have a title and we have actors contracted. And so we have to make a movie, I guess.
Right. Right. Also, like, we have like earnings to meet. Disney has to make earnings. We
Yeah,
have to
we
like
have our
quarter one,
investor
quarter
call.
2. Yeah, right. It's like we have to have something to draw in new subscribers
Yeah.
because that's important for our earnings.
And that's why
important
all
for-
that stuff becomes such a mess. Because Marvel's been a mess for a while too.
Right. And the Broccolis don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just make great content.
Like,
and
we're
Amazon's
out.
like, we gotta make sure there's more people subscribing to Amazon
Amazon
Video.
Prime,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
yeah, it's rough. It also is. It's also would be more encouraging if there had been anything like super worthwhile coming out of Amazon. Name one thing.
People love Reacher. I think
Oh,
this
that's
is
true.
the weird thing about
That's true.
Amazon.
That's true.
Is that they seem to, the same way that Apple makes like a bunch of random sci-fi shows that nobody watches that have like the biggest actors in the world in them. Amazon makes tons of like dadcore movies and TV, like Reacher, like Tom Clancy stuff, and none of it's bad. But like the Tom Clancy show, Jack Ryan.
Jack Reacher.
is
That's confusing.
fine.
Yeah.
John Krasinski, I feel like, is a very okay Jack Ryan.
Okay.
I like Wendell Pierce,
Couldn't tell you.
the black guy from The Wire.
Couldn't tell. I heard it's good.
I like him.
Right.
I just don't know. The show's just fine. I started watching Reacher recently because I have some friends who really like Reacher, Michael. But it's also kind of just fine to me. So much of that stuff is just like airport book. And it's all kind of similar. And it's like guy doing a little bit of frontier justice, it feels like. And it's like, it's whatever.
Sounds like James Bond to me.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like even the more recent Bonds were kind of like cinematic universe-y. They all kind of connected.
Right.
We haven't had James Bond just doing a mission for a long time. Just let him do a mission. Let it just be a cool thing. Casino Royale was that. But then it led directly into Quantum of Solace, which sucked. And then that one led pretty also directly into Skyfall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Skyfall was great. And that led into Spectre, which was whatever. Which led into No Time to Die, which was great. Kind of confusing what's happening here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want it to be good.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I think so much of the last 50 plus years of cinema has James Bond in it, and I think even like the highlight reel cut from the Oscars, even though it was a weird moment of the Oscars,
Super strange.
there's like and I think the news of them selling surely had something to do with that.
But it wasn't like, how much time would they have had to prepare for that? Because that was only like really recently before the Oscars, wasn't it? Like a few days or something.
I would not put it past them to cut something like that together so
guess.
fast. I don't know. I haven't done that much background on that, but there's like a sparkling moviness to James Bond. and
Yeah,
throughout
it's like the
history.
classic
and
Hollywoody.
Yeah, we cut all together all of the best moments, and I think I just don't see Amazon doing that.
No.
It's you're not going to have a highlight reel.
The thing that I think I tweeted something. I was like, get ready for James Bond to never
You're
be
still
good
on
ever again.
Twitter? You
The
seem
only
like
place I
you
get
seem
engagement.
like a Blue Sky boy.
I don't know. I probably should be. There's too many social medias. I'm on it. I never check it.
Eh.
I've got businessman time scheduled on Saturdays on my schedule.
Oh.
And I need to
cool.
write down all the different social medias that I need to check because there's too many of them, and being an artist in today's world sucks.
A high five. That was my shoulder.
Your shoulder
I
made
forgot
the
to
high five
forgot to
noise.
stretch first. I'm getting old, dude.
You need to stretch before the podcast.
We forgot our warm-ups.
We forgot to do our stretches and our vocal
Physical
warm-ups.
warm-up, vocal warm-up, spiritual warm-up.
Oh. Dear God. Podcast God.
So stupid. Okay.
Should we talk about the Oscars?
Well, that was some tight news.
I guess we're supposed to have a 10-minute timer on that, aren't we? Or something like that?
Oh, yeah. We started limiting ourselves because I feel like we probably... I wonder if there's an engagement count that you can see the first 10 minutes of a podcast.
Definitely.
We kind of fucked up.
Well, it's fine. Time to talk about the Oscars. What do you think about the Oscars?
Hey!
Tell me what the Oscars are
Oh!
this year.
Hey! Well, personally, a lot of excitement for Conan to be host.
Agree.
I
Love Conan.
I also am biased in that because Marshall and listeners, I've been too busy to watch movies. I've watched hardly any movies in the past 6 to 8 months.
That's fine.
I started grad school.
Oh, yeah,
I started new classes at work. I have a almost 2-year-old, and the movie time has been a little rough for me.
Yep.
So, especially grad school, though, I think it's been a lot of mental energy at that.
Yeah.
Learning about U.S. history and
Fun.
Yeah, so fun. Took a class on George Washington. Currently in a class on democracy in the early republic.
Oh.
This summer, I'll be in D.C. for 4 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, very fun. Doing some coursework through Georgetown and
George Washington Town?
Yeah, that's the very same. And yeah, it's called the Institute on the Constitution. Maybe interview a Supreme Court justice. Should be a good time. I get to be the Nebraska fellow. There will be, I think, 49 other fellows from all the other states. I am the only one from Nebraska. So
Is
anyway.
fellow a boy exclusive term, or
I'm a fellow.
can ladies be fellows?
Oh, there are lady fellows. I don't know if they have a different name like fellowess or something.
Lady fellow.
Lady fellow. Yeah. Well, yeah. This definition of fellow is that is silly. I don't think I've seen a gendered version of it. I think they just have it.
Yeah.
They usually say like name of state, fellow, and then year that they were announced as the fellow.
Fluid fellow.
Yeah, fluid fellow.
Nice. Pretty good.
What's the guy got to do to find a fluid fellow?
What'd you think about the Oscars?
Anyway, so I'm biased by not having watched all of the movies.
I also
was
didn't.
so I was kind of excited to watch Conan. The rest of the night felt pretty going through the motions and pretty nothing. It felt not very special to
Yeah.
me. It felt kind of like, here's the thing, here's your speech, play the music, you're off, and except for that
Yeah.
one time when they didn't, and then apparently all you have to do is say, I've done this before, stop,
Yeah.
and then you get to keep talking
For like the longest time of
yeah.
anybody, apparently.
Crazy. So anyway, that's my feeling, is that it kind of felt like another awards show, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a couple of like story beats that you can pull out of it, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah.
There's some storylines that were fine, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Conan was good.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more Conan because I love Conan.
Mhm.
But also I think that it's good that he didn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too much Conan because it's not about him.
Right.
But also
Yeah.
it wasn't, I don't know, after watching it and then going back and showing Laura all the different times that Billy Crystal hosted,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's a different thing.
Mhm.
Like it used to be such a celebration, and it just is a different vibe around Hollywood and movies, and that kind of like, there's not kind of glitz and glamour to it anymore. It's just kind of like with social media and stuff like that, they're just kind of people now, and there's not this otherness to this whole world. Like you're getting a view into this thing, and it's Hollywood's biggest night, and you get to see all the stars in the same room or whatever, and it just doesn't have that kind of like romantic kind of feeling to it anymore.
It also like especially feels like now Hollywood high-fiving itself.
A
I don't
little
know
bit.
I don't know how I haven't watched back many old ones. I don't know how those felt to you, but it feels a lot of like high five broccoli family, high five people in the obituary that we care about, and leaving out the people that we maybe don't care about.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
if they're a
like,
member of the
you know,
Academy, they should be in there. Like I
they
said, I
were-
know that Bernard Hill, who played King Theoden, he was not in there, but I don't know if he was a member of the Academy.
right
Typically, when people get upset that like this person wasn't included, they just weren't a member.
So there you go. You have to be a member of that. So it is literally. This
Yeah,
is our
it's a club.
This is our club. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
but it should be
Right.
to a degree. Like it should be special,
Right.
not excluding people, but
Yeah.
exclusive.
It's definitely
in a
not.
way.
It's not a award show for the people. That's its own thing. You know.
The
it's-
People's Choice Awards.
Yeah. Right. so Nickelodeon Teen Choice Awards.
That's what I'm all about.
The real.
I want to see
voice.
Conan get slimed.
Hell yeah.
He would do it.
I think so.
He would love it.
Something makes me feel like he has been slimed. Maybe not at the award show.
I wonder. I bet it's happened. I don't know. I think.
Why don't we do an F the Teen's Choice Awards show?
Because then I have to watch it. You know, that's the problem.
But think of the content. Think of the engagement. What if we slime each other? That'd be everywhere. That'd be all over.
Each of us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Get it? Slime.
Engagement. Yeah, we don't really want teens listening to our show, I don't think.
No.
Maybe adults. Maybe we
Adult Choice Awards.
the Yowzers. Different kind of slime. I think, at those ones.
No.
Yowzers.
Very good.
Oof. Okay, so let's keep going with the Oscars then.
What do you think? I was gonna say, like, I was disappointed there wasn't kind of like a big opening thing. Like even like previous hosts besides Billy Crystal always did. It's a Wonderful Night for Oscar, and he sang the song and everything like that. Or there was somebody like Hugh Jackman did a big thing when he hosted. I was surprised that Conan didn't do some big, like he did the thing with the substance, which was funny.
Yeah.
But it was like
He did
just
a
one little
tap
deal.
number, and there was the sandworm.
Yeah,
and
kind
stuff.
of.
Like,
But it was like, I feel like it could have been more, and it should have been more. And I hope maybe they bring him back and he has more leeway to do more stuff. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
yeah.
I think it feels like bringing someone like Conan feels like it's a step in the right direction. But also, another thing that I realized when watching Billy Crystal, but then especially watching Hugh Jackman, and then, you know, when we talk about movies that we've been watching, I was watching some old Hollywood movies. Actors and comedians are not built the same way that they used to be. And this is something that Tom Cruise always tells the new people coming up is like, you need to learn how to dance. You need to learn how to sing. Like, do all these different things. Because in old Hollywood, you used to get trained to do everything. And that's what a movie star was. You were an entertainer, not just an actor, not just a comedian and stuff like that. And that's kind of a little bit of what I was lamenting about being an artist in 2025 is you have to be doing all this different stuff and everything. But that's what makes this thing special. Like, this is, for an artist in 2025, that's really annoying because it's really not the essence of what this is. But for an actor to also be an entertainer and have these other talents and be able to do these other things, that's what makes hosting these things interesting. That's why Neil Patrick Harris is really good at this stuff. That's why Billy Crystal is really good at this stuff, because he comes from that same kind of like Johnny Carson generation that would have been like in the Letterman era a little bit, who grew up idolizing that era of Hollywood, but was the first people to kind of break that mold. So you're doing that kind of classic vaudeville-y kind of style stuff, but doing it in a way that fits a more modern audience. And then Conan would be that next generation, but it's like, it just, I don't know, something about it is just different. And it's just like, it should be a performance and a big thing, but instead it's just turned into like, let's get a comedian and they'll come out and do a monologue. And it's like, it's not a late night show.
Right.
It's supposed to be a big thing. And that's
That's
why I
interesting.
feel like that's the secret thing in the back of people's minds of why they feel disappointed every year. Of like, that was the worst Oscars ever every single year. No,
Right.
no, it wasn't.
There's not a beyond the first 20 minutes, not a lot of incentive
It's
to
not a
keep
show.
watching it. Yeah, there's nothing I'm really waiting for. Obviously, the bigger awards at the end of the night. Maybe I'll stick around, but at this point, I get that updated online. You know,
Yeah.
like there's not. Maybe if they had some bigger headliners for the musical performances,
Or if the presenters actually had little bits they were doing or something.
I think that'd be awesome. Instead of just cutting to every other thing, I have a 1 minute funny intro,
couple jokes from Conan. Like Ben Stiller's hilarious. Every time he
That was
does
awesome.
the Oscars,
That was
he
great.
came out dressed as an avatar that one time.
Right.
He wore a green screen suit and was goofing around.
So good.
Like all these different
They can't
things.
see me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's not a lot of incentive to keep watching it. The James Bond music didn't really land.
Yeah, I was like, why
It
is
was-
this happening?
It was fine.
A James Bond movie hasn't even come out this year.
Right.
Why is Margaret Qualley in this?
Yeah.
We love her,
Was
but like,
kind
what does she have to do with this?
Kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
So I think you're right that beyond the opening monologue, what keeps me engaged? For me, it was I set it to record and skipped all the commercials, and frankly skipped over some of the speeches.
Wow.
I know. But yeah, so I don't know how to fix that. I will say something that I thought was nice this year was I think every nominee got a good shout out. I don't know. I don't quite recall how much they've done this in the past couple of years, but they would bring out like a panel of people to announce it, where they'd have
right.
4 or 5 different people
Who were involved in the movie? Previous
who
nominees.
gave a shout out, a personal touch, a personal shout out, and said, "You're nominated for this because blank blank blank. I worked with you on this movie, and you're phenomenal." And then the next person,
which for
you're
like
nominated
crew
for
people and
this.
stuff like that, I think is great because
Yeah.
we don't know who these people are.
Right.
So tell us why this, cinematographer is really great. Who
Right.
we might not recognize, or even more than that, like a sound designer or an editor whose names are much less well known than a cinematographer or even a
I thought costume
musician.
design was really nice too.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good touch where they brought out actors and actresses who these people designed their costumes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really nice personal touching moment that I think if I were to be making an award show or really anything where you're honoring somebody instead of just reading your name, I liked the personal
actual recognition.
touch. So like this person, I trust this person, what they're saying right now, because this impacted their life.
Yeah.
The sound design impacted their life. The
John
costume,
Lithgow wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. The disappointed John Lithgow face was
Very
pretty
funny.
good. Was a pretty
Very,
good bit.
very funny.
So yeah, but again, that's not really incentive to keep watching. It's
It's just whatever.
Yeah, right.
It needs to actually be a show.
right. Yeah.
And I don't know that there's people who would do that anymore. Because if you want to hire somebody like Hugh Jackman, that's a lot of money now.
Right.
Like in whatever year when he did it, which was like, I think it was like 2010 maybe, like just after Les Mis, because he brings on Anne Hathaway to do a thing with him. It's like maybe it's a lot less money for him then
When was Les
compared
Mis?
to now.
2012?
I think. It was 2012?
I think so.
Oh, no, it was
2011?
2012. It was
somewhere
2012.
around there.
So maybe it was like 2013 when he did it,
Yeah.
which seems crazy
Anyway,
to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just need someone, like there was rumors that it was going to be Jackman and Reynolds. And Ryan Reynolds sounds like a nightmare. I don't want to watch him do that for 3 hours. But
the two of them.
the two of them
Yeah.
together could be entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seeing the two of them play off each other a little bit in the press tour for Deadpool was
Pretty fun.
entertaining.
Yeah, right.
Because Hugh Jackman is a very good straight man.
Sure.
Like when they did the chicken shop date, did you watch
It was
this?
pretty great, yeah.
Because
Pretty
Ryan
good.
Reynolds was just joking the whole time, but then they would cut back to Hugh and he's taking it so serious.
Yeah, kind
like
of
he's
endearing.
actually on a
Yeah,
date.
right,
And he's
yeah.
like, it's so good.
Yeah.
I can see that working really well, but I don't know.
Regardless. Any other highlights from the night?
I think most of the people who won were the right people to win.
Sure.
For the most part. I think anything Amelia Perez won was a disaster and shouldn't have been nominated for anything.
2 things I want to say. What were they?
They won Best Song and they won, which is insane. And they won Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, that's right. Whose speech was amazing. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun.
After she stopped panicking.
What?
She went up there and was just like freaking
yeah,
out.
right, yes.
I appreciate that she's like the first Latin American woman to win, and like who knows how, all this different stuff, historical stuff, whatever. But the movie is just garbage, and she
the internet
doesn't
backlash
deserve to
is
win
poor.
anything based off of that performance.
Interesting.
It's like, it's just so bad, and the songs are bad. Like, you know, Laura has talked about how the music, it all feel, you know, it's directed by a French guy who has actively said like he did no research on Mexico, doesn't care about needing to do, he doesn't think he gets the idea,
right.
I think is what he said.
See the one that had
Something like
that weird quote about the Spanish language?
Probably. I don't know. It's just so weird. It's so strange. And like the when you're looking at these montages of like, this is how we made our best original songs that we're nominated for, all these different people are like, this is what this means for the film, and this is what this thing is. And the Emilia Perez people are like immediately just like the two most pretentious French songwriters who are like apparently don't seem to have like background in songwriting or anything like that. And they just seemingly like Google translated, like the lyrics don't make sense entirely in Spanish. Like they sound weird and stunted, and not like they were written in Spanish. They sound like they were written in English and then swapped over. And then, oh, it sounds pretty, so it's fine. And they're like, yeah, we wanted something that sounded like you could dance to it, or like this thing. And it's like, there's no passion here. Like it just sounds like so fake, and it's just an Oscar bait movie in every way. It's so frustrating.
Unfortunate.
Everyone involved in that movie is just making a thing that is like the subject matter, the people who are actually involved in the kind of subject matter that it talks about in real life, every single aspect of it, Latin America, trans people, all of this different stuff, have come out in droves and been like, this is not so garbage. And it's baffling that it won anything, and it's fine. I really appreciated that Conan did not hold back though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh
with her
my
in the
gosh.
audience. Yeah. With
Yes.
the what was the
Sofia Gascon or something.
the
I can't remember her
tweets.
name.
Yes.
Yeah. The publicist and stuff. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was saying some not good stuff
right.
on the X, the Twitter in the old days and stuff like that. It's great.
It's
love
fine.
it. It's so
fine.
fun.
Go Conan. Go Conan.
Other than that,
yeah.
and then I don't know that I would have chosen, after watching The Brutalist, don't know if I'd choose Adrian Brody.
Okay. Let me tell you real quick. We're obviously going to default to Marshall's opinions on these things today because let's see. I saw Wicked. I saw.
Haven't seen Wicked.
Oh wow! Look at that. I can.
We might be
Got you
even
there.
on the ones that we have seen.
I don't think there's any way that's true. I saw Wicked.
Number-wise.
I saw Gladiator.
I have seen Gladiator.
I saw.
Thought it was whatever.
That might have been it. What else?
Are you looking at every nominated movie?
Yep.
I thought you were just looking at Best Pictures.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know what's up for best. Or I'm forgetting.
I have the Oscar list here.
Okay, I got it. Control F, Best Picture. They were great. Okay. I saw Dune Part 2. Saw Wicked. That was it from Best Picture.
Best Picture.
Anora, The Brutalist, The Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, and Substance, and Wicked.
The only ones that I watched ahead of time was Dune Part 2, which I did see like in the theater in IMAX. And The Substance. I have not seen Wicked, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, Amelia Perez. Not going to see Amelia Perez. Conclave. No, I did see Conclave. Conclave is great. A Complete Unknown, The Brutalist, Anora. Had not seen those. I have since watched The Brutalist, Anora, and A Complete Unknown.
Nice. What do you think about the conversation between the amount of awards that A Complete Unknown was up for compared to the amount of awards for Dune Part 2, specifically with like Timothée Chalamet? I think it seemed like there was a lot more press for A Complete Unknown compared to Dune Part 2.
I mean, the Academy likes biopics.
Okay, is that it? Is that the only argument?
I think it also depends on how much money you have to market your thing, and I don't know how much the Dune people cared to like go really intense about that stuff.
Gotcha.
Like, I know it was nominated for some things. There's controversy around the fact that it wasn't nominated for Best Original Score because technically a lot of the themes are coming back from the first one.
Right.
And Hans Zimmer has been like, that's stupid, but I'm not going to complain about it because whatever, I guess. I don't know. I think the Academy really loves biopics. And to be fair, I don't know. I like Timothy Chalamet. I think A Complete Unknown is one of the first times that I've watched something with him and not kind of just seen him. Where like other stuff, I feel like he's just got such a unique look that it's hard to not see Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
And I think he did a really, really good job as Bob Dylan. I think the movie's very good. I think he's really good as Paul, but it still feels Dune Part 2 is better than 1 for his performance.
Well, also because the character develops so much more
A lot
in Dune Part
more.
2 than Dune Part 1. Right?
He goes from like nice boy into full-on radical,
right.
Crazy man. I don't know. I feel like they're both really good performances, but the Academy just likes biopics.
Yeah.
They like movies about real people that are dramatic and whatever and stuff like that. So they're going to choose that one. Yeah. I don't know. Was it nominated for... I wish I could click on the movie and just see what it was nominated for.
Yeah, alas, you can't do that. Sorry, Marshall. You can't have nice things.
Whatever. Actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody won. I haven't seen Sing Sing. I haven't seen Sing Sing. I have seen Conclave. Ray Fiennes is really good in Conclave. Adrian Brody's good in The Brutalist, but the movie itself kind of underwhelmed me. Like visually beautiful. It deserved to win cinematography, and I believe it did.
Right on.
But it otherwise felt like kind of a confusing, stunted tale about what it is to be an immigrant in the United States. And it's kind of confusing on like what it's saying about Israel-Palestine as well, because they bring up Israel a good amount, and there's characters who move to Israel, and the state of Israel being established by the United Nations is not necessarily like a plot point, but it's like made very clear that it's happening and when it's happening. But it never really makes any kind of actual indication on what these characters even really believe about that, which is kind of confusing. And maybe that's just a coincidence that, you know, in today's world, you would kind of want to have a bit clearer of a message there. And maybe if it was a while ago, nobody would care. I'm not sure. But it felt just kind of like fine. And then there's something that happens in like the last third of the movie that is so like viscerally disturbing that it kind of like takes away. It's like a little, it's like something that's just so intense that it then dulls everything else that happened, that it's like, now that's all I really am thinking about and remember. It almost takes away from everything else, which is an issue. And it's almost it's so heavy-handed of a metaphor that it's like you're kind of killing what you're doing here a little bit. I don't know. I wanted it to be better than it was, and it was visually stunning. I liked the music quite a bit, but the first half was really good. The second half was kind of a mess.
Gotcha.
And there's an epilogue that's just kind of like wildly confusing and thematically confusing and weird. So Adrian Brody, I don't know.
It's fine.
I would like to vote for Coleman Domingo, even though I haven't seen Sing Sing. I really like Coleman Domingo. I think he's really good. And I like the idea of the story of Sing Sing, and I've only heard good things about that. I've heard that Sebastian Stan is really good in The Apprentice. I haven't seen it.
Me either.
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather give it to Timothy Chalamet, if only because I love his athlete mentality around being an actor.
Yeah.
Of like, I want to be one of the greats. I want to be Michael Jordan and
Right.
Michael Phelps. I love that Viola Davis got a shout out from him at the SAG Awards and stuff like that. Like, we're including her as one of the greats, which I think is deserving.
He also is just like pretty like relatable, it seems like, in most things. Like, you know, whether that's being discovered for his Controller Mod YouTube channel or
Lil
or
Timmy,
whatever it might
the
be.
rapper.
I think he just seems like he seems of our generation. I feel like in even in ways that like other people our age don't necessarily. Like, I think he feels representative.
Yeah, the
in some
difference
ways.
between the press tour for Dune and the one for A Complete Unknown is crazy.
Right.
Because Dune, it was a very traditional tour, and A Complete Unknown was just like, Timothy, go out there and just like be yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like he did his long interview with Nardwuar and everything, and that was really fun.
Also, just
and he's just hanging out.
You and your stylist dress up literally like Bob Dylan as much as possible. The amount of content I've seen on that of like side by side pictures of Bob Dylan with Timothy Chalamet and fun stuff. Yeah.
That's great.
Cool. Anyway, so you were just talking about actor in leading role. Actress in the leading role. Mickey Madison gets the win. Honora had a great night.
It did. Honora's good.
And I think obviously you kind of have to talk about Sean Baker, like tying Bong Joon-ho. Is that correct
really?
for the amount of wins
in one night or something?
In one night, yeah. Although like as a person, right?
Like for Parasite?
The one thing with Parasite, there's the asterisk on there, which is that the international film goes to the country, does not go to the person. So technically it's like one less because it wasn't Bong Joon-ho's award.
Whatever.
But from what I've heard post Oscars, a lot of Sean Baker's movies are fantastic, and so I'd like to go through and add those to my watch list on the line
Letterboxd.
on the Letterboxd. But so what a night for them. It seems as though he does a great job of towing the line between drama, comedy, good story, challenging story, that kind of thing, which is usually right up my alley in terms of the kind of movie I like to watch. So.
Yeah, I liked Nora. I think it's, I don't know. It's, you know what it's about.
Yeah.
So the first like third of the movie, maybe first fourth, is a lot in the club and everything. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of intense like sexuality and nudity and everything like that, which could be a little distracting from what's actually happening some of the time of like
if you're a pervert.
Yeah, like the men in those clubs. I was just watching it and thinking like, I don't get the appeal. Like what, I don't know, like the guys who go in, like you have to know that that's all fake, and like none of this is real.
I see, you mean from like an actual human utilizing sex work?
Yeah.
Is that what you're...
I don't know. And I was kind of confused a little bit by their speeches after I watched the movie. Because we watched the movie the day after the Oscars, after they won everything, and both of them had talked about like shouting out like sex workers and like what was the verbiage that they used? Because it was something that made it seem like we're excited about this and think this is a great thing and this is good or whatever. And then you watch the movie and it feels like it's a movie about how intensely horrible this is and how she's desperately stuck in this life and latches on to this loser idiot guy because, oh, look, a way out. And like that's the only way that she sees. Like the movie ends and it feels like a very profound statement about how horrifically broken this life has left her. And it's kind of depressing. And I'm a little conflicted about how that matches up with this speech that they were giving that seems to be not necessarily lining up with that. I don't know. I'm confused about it. I think the movie's good, and I think that it's like it's kind of in this weird space where it's like a very kind of taboo subject, but it's an important subject, and in order to tell a story about this subject, you also have to really engage with it.
Right.
And then the people that probably would agree with the message of the movie are the ones who are probably also not going to watch it because of the explicit content and everything like that.
Right.
Which is kind of a weird, bizarre paradox.
The speech makes it sound like we're shining a light on sex workers or like telling their stories in some ways, but it doesn't feel like a speech saying
it made them
and
say
now
that
tomorrow,
in like a positive
let's stop.
way.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel like any of them were saying
they
like,
were kind of
look at
saying
these hard
normalize
circumstances.
it is more what they were saying in the speech was let's normalize these stories, let's normalize sex work.
Which felt very different from what I was watching, which maybe it's just because of my background and everything.
That could be, yeah.
But the way that I read it was very much like, this is a bad situation. And like, why does she... like if she could get out of this, she would, is what I'm seeing. Like none of them are enjoying what they're doing necessarily. They're here because they have to be here. And the reality of so much sex work in the first place is that it is like a kind of sex trafficking, whether it is explicitly that or not. Like you get stuck in there and it becomes this system that you kind of have a hard time getting out of.
To be fair, I feel that with my career.
Sure. In a lot of ways, that's true. But this is because it's like sex, it is a different kind of more insidious, like you're using a person as like your boss keeping you in your job. I feel like is a very different situation than someone keeping someone in a situation where they're having to sexualize themselves and expose themselves in that kind of way if they don't want to do that. That feels like especially heinous to me. And I don't feel like that's a controversial statement. I don't know.
I'll watch the movie and I'll let you know.
Yeah, the middle of it is hilarious.
Get back to you. Yeah, okay.
The middle of the movie is my favorite part of the movie. It's great.
You don't like sad things.
I don't love sad things, but
Me either.
I like engaging with content that makes me think, and it definitely did that.
Sure.
I don't know. That's what I think about that.
There you go. Wow. I'll watch it and I'll let you know. Sorry, viewers.
I'm trying to set up my
help
Plex
to
server
you.
again. If I do, it'll be on there.
Absolutely. You can check out Wicked on my Plex server. So
Maybe I have.
because I own a physical copy of said movie, and therefore I can host digital copies of it for myself. Camera.
So when you said I could check it out, you meant I can come over to
Like-
your house
Correct. And
and
stream
we can
it.
sit down next to each other,
Yes.
very close,
Yes. On one screen.
on one screen.
Right.
We're sitting on one screen,
We're sitting on one screen.
looking at
enjoying
one couch.
Wicked together.
Yeah,
Being Wicked together.
farting on the movie. Good.
Sweet.
It's kind of
Anywho.
a big year for independent or small movies, small-ish
Yeah.
movies, comparatively. Less than 10 million is considered kind of a small or indie movie. Indie would have to be like an independent studio, but the word doesn't mean that really anymore. Honora was made for $6 million.
Crazy.
Which is insane.
Crazy.
Even the higher budget nominees like Nickel Boys or Conclave were both made for about 20 million. The Substance was made for 18 million. Not super low, but that is not high at all.
Right.
The Brutalist was made for 10 million, which for the way that movie looks is incredible. One of my favorite movies that got nominated and the one that I think most deserved the win was Flow. And it was made in Blender.
Seriously.
Yep.
That's cool. Wow.
Entirely in real time in Blender
Wow. Cool.
for $4 million
Wow.
total.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's completely insane. It was the first time Latvia was ever nominated or won anything.
Yeah. Great Conan joke right afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
But
And then
was
when
it
he translates to
Europe,
China in the
Estonia?
end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he goes to the different language. Oh, that's a different joke. Well, your turn next, Estonia, but then several different movies. One of my favorite jokes from him when he was talking about how the Oscars are being simulcast in all these different places.
Yes.
And he said the same thing in 3 languages and then went to
then-
Chinese.
and was
And he
like,
was saying, I am in horrible debt. Please put me in one of your many films.
Yeah. So good.
That's very good.
So classic Conan.
Extremely
really good.
classic Conan.
Anyway, though, yeah. So a good year for smaller movies, more independent films.
Yeah.
Indie films, perhaps. Yeah.
It was also kind of
maybe
just a
reason
weird year.
That it was hard to get a hold of a couple of these movies in terms of theatrical releases.
Distribution.
And
I feel like that's the way it is for a lot of this stuff every year, but this year did feel like especially frustrating. Like, how do I watch The Brutalist? Where
Right.
do I watch Sing Sing?
right,
I don't know.
right.
Flow? I guess it'll be on Apple eventually.
Sometimes the theater down at the university shows a few.
The Ross,
But
yeah.
if we were up in Omaha, we could go
The Alamo.
watch them a little bit easier. But yeah, alas, Lincoln.
Makes me sad that the closest IMAX screen is like in the north side of Omaha.
Which is why today, viewers, we are announcing the Cinema Lounge Cinema. We'll be investing in a movie theater.
It'll be in the middle of Omaha.
Yeah. Lincoln, Nebraska, the Cinema Lounge Cinema.
Yeah, we're gonna buy the Joyo
CLC.
and then wish that we hadn't.
Dude, that'd be sick probably for a little bit.
And then we would be like, this is a money pit.
Yep, correct.
We give up.
Correct.
Yeah.
I recently saw a fun Facebook post from them saying, please host your birthday parties here. Please. That'd be
That's
cool.
sad.
That'd be sweet. We'll do it. We'll wait till the economy's real bad and then
And then
swoop
we'll
in.
buy it.
Hell yeah.
What was I going to say?
You could live in it at night.
Oh, man, that'd be
You
terrifying.
could sleep behind the screen.
Do I want to do that?
No.
No, not really.
Maybe one night, though. It'd be kind of fun.
I like
in.
Charging Station.
Lock in. Okay, well, I don't really have anything else to say about the Oscars, Marshall.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I just was...
Fine, man.
I just thought maybe you wanted to know that.
Fine.
I just wanted you to know.
Whatever. So, Ben, you haven't been watching very many movies, but have you watched any movies lately?
Yeah, I saw Scream for the first time. It was pretty awesome,
Nice.
actually. Yeah,
Very
it was
good.
pretty good.
Are you logging on your letterbox?
I keep kind of forgetting, but yeah. I mean, honestly, it's been so low. I saw Gladiator in England. I didn't tell you that. Gladiator 2 in an English movie theater. It was kind of fun.
Do they all have British accents?
Yeah, the commercials beforehand were all obviously British.
They were
And,
like, check out Muesli.
Yeah. No, but
Go to
yeah.
Greg's.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Doctor Who.
No, but yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, I don't think he was there, but was pretty fun experience. The popcorn is kind of like caramel corn, kettle corn. No buttery popcorn, just kettle corn.
Interesting.
Which was kind of fun. Going to like their Broadway show and their movie theater, same situation, like same popcorn. It was like double.
Did you go to a West End show?
We went to Wicked. Which was
Oh,
fun.
right.
Yeah, it was very fun, West End. But anyway, so I saw Gladiator there, which was a good time, very fun. Kate and I were like, what don't we do at home? Because we have a child with us all the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah, go to movies together. Let's go to a movie together. That'd be fun. So we did that, and then a couple weeks ago, watched Scream for the first time, which again, surprising, kind of fun, a fun flick. Some good kills, some good screams, some good homage to horror film. As a funny, stupid, don't have to feel too bad while I'm watching it kind of movie where I'm just like, the screams are fun, the kills are fun. I'm watching it with friends. I'm not alone trying to be all like actually scared psychologically. Afterwards, the movie's over, I'm like, one of those situations.
I feel like Scream is one of those too where you don't watch it because you're like, it's one of those. But the first one had to be good for it to get 20 sequels.
Yeah, I'm confused by the sequels. The first one felt fine and like there should be no Scream universe.
Because when did it come out? Was Courtney Cox still in? Was Friends coming out at the time?
It was early on. I think perhaps she was in Scream before Friends. I want to say Scream was like 96 maybe. Let me look this up. But yes, everyone's young. Okay, original 97.
97's a good year.
Yeah. Oh, Scream 2 is 97.
Oh. 97
Scream
sucks.
1 is 96.
96 is a good year.
I was right the first time. I'm a freaking genius.
You're like a genius, man.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
No problem.
But
dude.
anyway, I thought it was fun. Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Other people that are meaningless to me now.
Yeah.
Getting David Arquette.
Who did Wes Craven direct that?
Yes.
Okay.
So fun.
Yeah.
Little Henry Winkler.
Is he in that?
Great. Yep.
What?
He's like the principal.
I need to watch Scream.
You should. It's really fun, actually. I think you would like it. Have you not seen it?
I haven't.
I put it off for so long because I'm like, these movies must suck.
Because that's
and
what
it
you
was
think.
fun. It was fun. It was a good.
But that's
fun
all
time.
you would need it to be.
Get a couple homies, watch some Scream.
Yeah. I feel like that era, because the 96, that's an era, the 80s and the 90s, the late 80s and early 90s, mid 90s, whatever. That's an era of horror movies where it's just like, we're just making stuff.
Yeah.
And just movies in general, there was money to just make stuff.
Right.
And nowadays there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you get 3 movies a year that are something. But you don't get, like, it's a bunch of slop otherwise.
Yeah.
And that was what
Also,
slop used to be. Slop used to be good.
Yeah. Or at least like there was an audience somewhere for it, or an audience would discover it eventually.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the theater or whether that's on DVD or VHS afterwards.
And it would go to the theater.
Yeah.
So it would get money in the box office, and they'd be like, maybe we make another one.
And it would continue making money for years.
Yeah.
From
physical media.
Physical sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because that was like half of the entire, like, the money making process. Have you seen, like, Matt Damon he was talking in an interview about how the advent of streaming totally changed the way that they make money, because it used to be that like half of the profits of a movie came up in the DVD sales.
Wow.
and they don't have that anymore.
Right.
So yeah, man,
Crazy.
Criterion, we love you.
Criterion, where's Scream? We need a Criterion Scream.
I feel like they would do that.
Yeah.
They absolutely would do Criterion Scream. Because it doesn't have to be a really. Sometimes they do like
Doesn't have to be a
culturally
snooty movie.
notable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised sometimes the stuff that they just slap on there really quick. Like Anora already has a Criterion release.
Oh wow.
And it's good.
Fun.
It's just surprising to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well. Anyway, what have you been watching?
I rewatched Hellboy recently because I watched a documentary about Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, on Amazon called Drawing Monsters, which is pretty good.
Cool.
And he talks in the beginning of that about how when he graduated art school, went to Marvel offices in New York, walked in the door and said, "Hi, I'm an inker," and they said, "Okay, here's 5 pages."
Crazy.
Yeah. So then I cried for 20 hours, and then I kept watching the documentary.
20 hours.
So yeah, I showed that to Laura, and she said we should watch Hellboy because she hadn't seen it, and I like it. It's not as good as I remember. It's a little too much Del Toro and not enough Hellboy for me, or at least it's fighting that balance a little too much, which I feel like is why I like the second one more, because it's just Del Toro pretty much. Like Mike Mignola wasn't very much involved in that one.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't, the comic book Hellboy very much at all.
Which
but
was
it,
actually fine.
But it kind of worked better because Del Toro was able to just go all in. I don't love the overly romantic fairy tale thing that he loves so much, and Hellboy just isn't that.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched The Gorge on Apple. It was fine.
Cool.
Kind of wish it was a different movie than it was.
Okay.
It was kind of confusing.
Great.
Check it out.
Okay.
It was fine. Watch Gladiator 2.
Sick.
Also fine.
Pretty fine. It was pretty good in the movie theater in terms of like that occupied some time and was cool.
It feels like a good theater movie.
This plot was
Whatever.
suboptimal.
Yeah.
The first quarter was too much of a copycat.
I'm trying to figure out.
Gladiator 1.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie was like,
It's over now, I guess.
that was kind of weird. You worked this up to be such a big ending, and then it was like
kind of just not. I'm trying to understand when Maximus had that boy. When did he make that boy
I think
with what's her name?
Yes. If I recall, there's like a time jump cut somewhere. Oh, wait, no.
In
Sorry.
Gladiator?
It's actually before Gladiator happens. He made that boy before he had his wife and child.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I was going to say,
They had-
if it was during, then that completely invalidates the
The whole,
entirety
my
of the
family
first
is really
movie.
important to me.
Yeah.
It was before he started his family.
Okay.
Yes, that's.
'Cause I was like, I don't know how old his son is in that
allegedly,
movie. I can't
yes.
remember.
Like they had scootily pooped, went their separate ways. You're the empress. Blah blah blah.
Is there any hint of that in the original movie? Like, do you get the idea that this kid is his son?
I think that is one of the pushbacks of like rewatching that movie is like it won a lot of awards, but it was actually really disjointed in production, and it really came together after post production.
Interesting.
And
That's kind of how Ridley makes movies.
yeah, apparently. So they really figured some stuff out. Anyway, I think there's like some allusion to like there's a chemistry and connection between them.
Yeah, because there's that scene where he's like in the jail cell and
Well, for sure that.
Lucius is like, "Hey, I'm a little boy," and
For sure that.
Yeah.
Yes, that for sure. But even at the beginning of the movie, I think there is a moment where she's at like the war camp, maybe, I want to say.
Yeah.
And there.
and she's like,
there's,
"We had intercourse.
Scootily poopty.
We had relations biblically." Like that.
That's how they
It
taught
took
me in
one
health class.
episode to
Health
get back
class.
to you doing that.
Health class. Anyway. Yeah, it's a fine enough movie.
Thought Gladiator 2 was fine.
There's some really sick moments. There's some really fun moments.
Yeah.
I thought what's his buckets was really good.
Mr. Pascal or Mr. Mescal?
Neither.
Denzel?
Denzel Washington. I thought
Denzel Pascal or Mescal?
Denzel Pascal Mescal. Denzel Washington, I thought was great.
I thought he was good. It's just kind of funny that oh no, we're overheating over there.
Oh no! Crap. It's the light.
What's the batteries?
Oh, perfect.
Really?
Oh, it's fine. Let's wrap up. Hey guys, we got battery constraints here.
Okay, bad news. Battery's dying. I also watched the Brutalist, The Complete Unknown, My Fair Lady, And Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Love that movie. Rewatched it just yesterday.
Right.
Really good. Thanks for watching Cinema Lounge. Our battery's dying. We have to hurry. I don't have a dummy battery, so it just is battery power. We're going to keep doing the show. We're glad you're here to see the show. We have to toast. Oscars, yes or no?
Yeah, no, don't go back and watch it if you haven't.
Okay.
Don't waste your time.
No.
Watch some clips.
Toast.
So, here's to the little gold men with the little gold butts and the little gold heads and all the little men who are out there still looking for their person.
And here's also to the Oscar statues. Thanks everyone for listening. Check out Cinema Lounge wherever you listen to it. I'm also starting new stuff called The Back Issues on another channel, Marshall Parrish. I'll put that in the description. You can check it out. There's going to be all kinds of stuff over there. It's going to be really great. Cinema Lounge is on all the different social media, Cinema Lounge Pod on Instagram and whatever. And we post clips there if you want to know what the next episode we're doing is ahead of time, and I don't know ahead of time, then I'll post it there. But I know now it's going to be the conversation with Gene Hackman, and we're going to talk about other Gene Hackman movies as well, like Superman 2, the Wes Anderson movie, what's it called?
The Italian Hand Job.
No.
Is that what it's called? Great.
He's not in either of those
Great,
movies.
fantastic.
Other stuff with Gene Hackman. It's going to be great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being listeners. Tell all your friends about the show if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, tell them anyway, because you want them to suffer, and because that's the kind of relationship you have with them. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may his light shine upon you. Amen.
Hey, we're back!